All right. Good morning.
One moment.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Good morning. The Friday, May 1st, 2026 regular City of Knoxville Public Officer hearing is called to order at 9:30 a.m. I'm Nicholas Bradshaw, the public officer designated by the mayor as described in the City Code of Ordinances, Article 6, Unfit Buildings, and charged with addressing properties in the city that are out of compliance with the adopted codes of the City of Knoxville. The adopted codes include the 2024 editions of the following, and these are all international codes: fire, building, residential, plumbing, mechanical, fuel gas, existing building, and swimming pool and spa, as well as the 2017 edition of the ICC ANSI Accessibility Code, 2023 edition of the National Electrical Code, 2018 edition of the International Energy Conservation Code, 2018 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code. The public officer is authorized to hold hearings, administer oaths and affirmations, examine witnesses, and receive evidence and issue orders as a result of his findings in determining the condition of buildings that are dangerous, unfit, and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants and/or public. The procedure for the public officer is as follows. Each case will start with a report and presentation of evidence by officers representing various city departments. Today, this will primarily consist of, but is not limited to, evidence presented by Mr. Alan Stonerock, Neighborhood Codes and Enforcement Manager or Officer for the City of Knoxville. Mr. Stonerock is employed by the City of Knoxville and is certified as a Property Maintenance and Housing Inspector. Following the city's report and testimony, the owner or owners and/or their legal counsel, as well as any members of the general public, will be given an opportunity to respond. The public officer has the authority to limit this time as per his discretion. Today's agenda will be modified to hear the cases of property owners present at this time and in the order signed up as you entered the hearing room. We make this accommodation to minimize any inconvenience to the owners and members of the public here today. For those actively participating in today's meeting, thank you. Your involvement and active participation is appreciated. As per legal counsel, I need to read the following notice of demolition into the record. Any person who intends to perform work on a structure that the public officer has placed an order against shall first make application to the building official and obtain the required permit. For orders issued by the public officer, please be aware that just obtaining permits and starting rehabilitation of a structure does not invalidate the city's power to take corrective action, such as demolition of a dangerous structure, regardless of the amount of work performed by the owner. All orders are still in effect if the rehabilitation work has not been completed and the structure has not had all final inspections approved within the time provided by the order or by an extension if one has been granted. Remember, if rehab is not fully complete or an extension is not in place, the structure may be demolished after the order time has expired or after any prior written extension of time has expired without any further notice given to the owner. All right. Are there any questions before we start and all participants are sworn in? If not, all individuals testifying today will need to be sworn in. If you are testifying today, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. LaFew, please advise me of any individuals who arrive late and need to be sworn in mid-hearing. All right, with that, Ms. LaFew, what is our first property today?
$2541 Wilson Avenue.
2541 Wilson Avenue. All right, Mr. Stonerock.
Yes, sir. This property was inspected on March the 4th, 2025. The house was found to be in poor and deteriorating conditions. Several doors and windows have been broken and covered with boards. The house shows signs of heat damage, likely due to a fire. There's a melted siding. The accessory structure's roof has completely collapsed. All utilities have been removed from the property. The property has become the subject of several nuisance calls from the neighborhood. The property is frequently dirty and cluttered with rubbish and garbage. The city has recently cleaned and/or mowed the property multiple times. There are signs of vagrancy at the property. There's visible damage to the soffits, eaves, and siding. There are 5 open liens and 1 dirty lot invoice that have not been paid. For this, we're requesting a 60-day repair demolition order on the main and the accessory structures.
All right, Ms. LaFew, we have someone signed up to speak on behalf of the owner.
Yes, Mr. Charles Holland.
All right, if you could please approach the podium here and state your name and address for the record.
Charles Holland, 3930 Alma Avenue.
What do you have to
I've been purchasing this property, and the people who I was purchasing it from, they never told me that they had anything on it. As far as where it's burning in the back, the house next door had caught on fire. Well, the garage caught on fire, and that's what happened to that because everything was secure. I made sure that nobody couldn't get in it and stuff. And like I said, some of the stuff where they removed before I wasn't there, then I didn't have, on it that it needed to be removed. But I'm in the process right now, just retired, and I'm in the process right now of whatever I need to do to get it up to code. I'm willing and ready to do it.
Okay. Have we got a contractor or pulled a permit yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a contractor. Trying to think of the name of the company. It's under Mr. Tony Nelson, but he's gonna be the contractor on it. And like I said, I've been paying on it for like 2 years, and the people, we've been kind of in and out of court because they didn't do what they said. But I recently paid it off. I think I paid it off right at the first of the year, and so I have them out of it all the way, and I have total control of it. And this is like my retirement and stuff, and so I'm ready to proceed on it and get it done.
Okay. Do you have anything, Mr. Stone Rock, in response?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. We'll make a ruling on this particular property. I'll say if work does commence and make significant progress, that would be a plus. But I think as it stands now, it's going to be really critical that we see some really serious improvements on this property.
Okay.
But if I encourage you to be in contact with our codes department as time goes forward, if anything changes with that.
All right, well, they have a list of everything that needs to be done on the outside of it now. Do you have that? Is it up there?
We can get a list sent
I get
to
a
you
list?
for the copy of the original structure inspection checklist.
Okay.
Other than that, just please reach out to myself or anybody in our office, and we'll work with you.
Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. I've actually been working with Jordan, and so I've got like half of it cleaned up already. And so I'm in the process. Like I said, we're closing down our business, and so it's been kind of moving a little slow. But here within, if I can get, 60 to 90 days, I should be able to get the whole outside of that house finished up. I think the guy told me he was like, he needs about 30 days before he can get started on it, Mr. Nelson. And then after that, he said it won't take long to get the outside of it took care of.
So we are requesting the 60-day repair demolition order on the main and the accessory structures. That being
Yes.
said, ultimately the city's goal is not to have any houses demolished. We want to see things rehabbed, of course.
Okay.
So
Right.
so if pending work that is done, we'd be happy to work with you, but we do need to see significant progress within that 60-day timeframe.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I find that the structure at 2541 Wilson Avenue, including the accessory structure, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. I order the owner to repair or demolish the structure at 2541 Wilson Avenue, including the accessory structure, within 60 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed, and the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building, with the cost of such corrective action being a lien and collected as provided in city code. What's our next property?
3730 Kate Avenue.
Mr. Stonerock?
Yes, sir. So this property was inspected on November the 21st, 2024. The house was found to be in very poor and deteriorating condition. The owner has been cited and fined for violating the zoning ordinance at city court for operating a used tire business in a residential zone. The property has become the subject of repeated nuisance calls from the neighborhood. There have been over 40 calls to KPD since 2021. The property is frequently dirty and cluttered with rubbish, garbage, and human waste. The city has cleaned the property multiple times, including a recent large-scale clearing of hundreds of used tires, trash, and garbage. There are ongoing signs of vagrancy at the property. The city and county taxes are delinquent since 2022, and the KUB water and electric was actually turned off. The meters have been removed since November of 2025. For this, we're requesting a 30-day repair order of the main structure, and we're also requesting a 30-day repair demo order for the accessory structures.
You said accessory structures.
Yes, sir.
Do we have pictures of so there's more than one?
Yeah, yes, sir. So there's a shed, there's some sort of storage buildings that you can see in the photo there on the right side. They're kind of awnings, lean-tos type structures on the far right. Yeah, kind of where the cursor is right now behind that fence.
Okay.
You can see them a little bit, but the photo's a little dim. And then this would also include the fences.
Okay. And we have someone who signed up to speak.
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, sir. My name is Asa Hobbs. I've owned that piece of property, I guess, been deeded to me about 3.5 or 4 years. There was an 87-year-old man that was living in that house on the date you said the power was cut off. And the reason the power was cut off, it was delinquent on all the stuff, the repairs and the vagrants in it. Mr. Sanchez here at this court held me 13 months. 5 months in jail, the rest on house arrest. I could not go to any of my properties and take care of them, period. I couldn't leave the property, couldn't work or anything. All those charges were concluded. They dismissed all charges but one. And then when we went to trial, it was not guilty. So I've had 13 months that the city has, they've kicked the doors in, dopers are laying it everywhere. Just like the man said there, nothing I could do. I was on house arrest. But he'd go up and ask Mr. Sanchez about my 13 months. But I'm working on the house as we speak, had a permit on it doing repairs when the power was cut off, and I was incarcerated. I have no problem fixing the house. I've fixed a lot of them in the city. This will be the 27th or 28th one that I've repaired and sold, but like I said, I have been under I'll say that policeman there. I've been under a police harassment and a coach harassment for 3 years from the city. To the point I have tried to find an attorney to bring suit against the city over it. They roll up to my properties every 14 days. I've had the police there in the last 3 days. People call in supposedly false police reports. They came in the house, the law kicked the door in on it 5 days ago at 2 o'clock in the morning. Come in the back doors and they're working on it. It said somebody called and some old man in a nursing home owned it. And I was in there stealing, so they came in with guns drawn. They were again there yesterday while I was working on it. I have a dumpster sitting there working on it now. I intend to fix it. And there ain't nobody going to tear it down.
Well, just to clarify, I believe the city's not requesting a demolition of the house. I think it's limited. That request was limited strictly to the accessory structures, correct?
Okay.
Just to be clear.
The house is not in bad shape at all. Like I said, the power was on. A man was living there when I was incarcerated and held 5.5 months for failure to appear to court. First time. like I said, I've got the raw ass at this building, just tell you like it is, period. And I'm going to be nice to this man who's never done nothing. He's a pretty good guy, the guy there. The redheaded one that works for him, he's a pure D ass. And I'd rather him not come back to my property, really. This gentleman right here, he's always been all right. He's never done nothing to me. He's all right. But I'll be down there taking care of that property. And I don't know what y'all want to do up here about whatever. Call me, come see me. You do see I had an active permit on it when the power was cut off, don't you?
I have not researched that. Right, I don't know that information right now.
You got the blight side of it. I had an active permit on it when I was incarcerated and not allowed to go to the property.
And that was more than a year ago?
Absolutely. It's been well over a year. I was held 13 months. And I guess I went to trial, and they dismissed all my charges on trial day, which pissed me off. They were ashamed to go in front of the jury and tell them that they used two crippled raccoons to indict me and hold me that long. But like I said, I've been under Jinx, Officer Jinx with Major Crime Unit is the one that's on me. Period. I know his family and know stuff about him. And he's using his occupation and this courthouse to run over me.
Well,
Jason Jinx would be his name, Detective Jinx.
I understand. Speaking strictly on the property here at 3730 Kate Avenue, just to be clear, you're not disputing Mr. Stonerock's testimony about the condition of the property today?
It has some broken windows, as you see on this side. They beat them out in the last 13 months. It had glass in it, central heat and air blowing and everything a year and a half ago. Now, they took the old man away a week after I was gone. He died in a nursing home 6 or 7 months later. But he had lived there since 1977. He's an old friend of mine. And I took the house, and as far as you say, if you notice there on the delinquents since 2002, there was also $14,000 worth paid up of his taxes that year. $14,000 worth. So I'm going to fix it. It ain't going nowhere. I'll be on it every day
Okay,
that I can.
good to hear. We appreciate it. Do you have something else to?
So I did just double check. It looks like there is a building permit that has a status of inspection phase with you as the listed person who had pulled that permit.
Yeah.
That's dated. Looks like it's a
permit when they lock me up, working on it every day.
Yes, sir. So it shows that it's a permit dated from 2023. That being said, it is still showing the inspection phase, and it shows that it's for a remodel of the house. What we need you to do, if this order is approved for this time frame, we just need you to go ahead and proceed with that, and if nothing else, even schedule an inspection for the work that you've already done, if you've already done some work.
I did. So I framed in that front porch and stuff, but that's where I went into. I just went to court for a failure to appear, and hell, they held me 5.5 months and then another 13 months. So I've just been back to the property 60 days when that policeman was there. I mean, she was there.
So what I ask you, please, is just to contact the permits office, which is under plans review and inspections.
I don't do my daughter takes care of stuff. I can't read and write good and shit.
Yes, sir.
She takes care of that stuff.
So please, however you need to get it finished, if you can just make sure someone reaches out to the permit office and applies and schedules inspections for the permits for any work that has been done. And then as work proceeds, you just continue to make scheduled inspections. But we do need to see some activity on that, okay?
And no one's living in this property currently, right? Okay, just making sure.
No, it was, and look, it was horrible. The house got where they could enter it. The neighbors next door, my daughter had it locked up with padlocks. They said the police is the one that kicked the door and went in there and got some man that had a mask on going crazy in there. So when the house got open for people to come in and out of it, was Knox City Police Department kicked the doors in. They're the ones that opened the house up, and the city's one tore the gates down, the reason to get in the back of it. Why they didn't open them the right way, they just tore them down. It beats the hell out of me, but.
So I'd also like to ask about the accessory structures. We've mentioned that we'd request a 30-day repair demolition, actually, of the accessory structures.
I don't know what shame repair them. Do what now?
So we've requested that there be a repair demo order approved today at this hearing.
What are you saying, repair or check?
So-
I don't know what you're saying.
yes, sir.
Repair demo what?
Oh, it's a repair, we're requesting that either the accessory structures be repaired or demolished within 30 days. If
I'm
that,
not doing that shit. I'm working on it and I'm not demolishing nothing. Nothing.
what I'm saying is, that's what
What
we're,
I'm saying, I'll take the 13 months they stole from me in this courthouse to fix it. Nobody's demolishing nothing.
sir, I'm not able to assist with actions that have happened in your past regarding that manner. But we can request that there be a 30-day repair demo today. My question to you
Why
is,
are you wanting to tear the little shed down?
so they are in disrepair, they're structurally in
Ain't a
disrepair.
damn thing wrong with that shed. You come show me the disrepair on it.
So what I'd like to ask you is, what do you intend on doing to get the accessory structures in good repair?
Accessory structure, I mean the shed.
It's the shed, the fences, the
The only
outbuildings.
thing that the shed's got is where they've kicked the door in on it.
Yes, sir. The structures do need to be in good repair. Currently, they are not.
They were dirty. They were piled full of clothes. I mean, there's 2,500 pounds of clothes in that house. How do people carry all that shit in there? They had furniture in there too. I don't know how they got that in there.
No, I understand. My simple question was, what plans do you have to get the accessory structures repaired?
I will put a door on that shed and have it locked up.
What
And I
about-
intend to put the gates back up. That fence is not 2 years old. It was in pretty good shape till the city tore it all to hell.
Yes. So that sounds good on the shed. If you're able to get that shed nice and secure and it is not falling, it is in good repair.
It don't leak.
That would satisfy
It's
that.
metal on the sides, it's metal on the top. It has no water damage, it don't leak. Hobos just tore the door off of it, or the police, I think that's where the police took that dude out that had a mask on. They said some crazy man was in there with a mask, they had to go in there and get him. I think they tore the door and getting him out of there or something.
How do you intend on fixing the accessory structures? They're almost
The door.
storage type areas against that back fence near the alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you intend on fixing all of those?
I will put a band on top of it and fix it where it don't leak. Those things in the back, I've moved houses and repaired houses, and those sheds there, somebody else built them. I didn't. There was a boy built them 10 or 15 years ago. But I kept building materials and stuff in those hooches, whatever you want to call them, things back that fence row. And that's why the fence was there. The fence was there with gates on it, and the fence is only 2 years old.
I see.
It's all new metal and everything. Like I said, they took the backhoe and tore the damn thing down. Instead of opening the gate, just tore it off. What do I do about getting what? I'm going to ask one question. They got on the other side of this house. No house had pretty good siding on it. And for it to be such a piece of shit, I turned $130,000 for it down this week. For it being such disrepair for an old shack.
We've provided a list of the specific,
I'm going to put the
Issues
windows
with
in. I'm
the,
going to be done working on it.
don't interrupt me, please. Mr. Stonerock, did we provide a list of the specific violations and the corrective actions for the accessory structures?
So this was updated on April 28th, 2025, and then it was once again updated yesterday afternoon just to reflect the current status. We can provide a copy of that if we're able to get your email or some sort of contact information, or we could mail that to you if you'd like.
Yeah, let's just be as transparent as possible on
Yes,
that.
sir.
I
We'll
think.
I'm putting the door on the shed, and the only thing else is some hooches I did notice on the top, somebody walked on and broke some of that roof stuff on top of it. You know, but
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like you are in the process of making these repairs. I want to be completely clear that the city has not requested a demolition order for the house at all. I think that is strictly a repair order they're asking, which you're actively working on from the sounds of it, and have already pulled a permit, which is good progress.
yeah, I had
And the accessory structures we're going to consider separately. I think as long as we're very clear about what needs to be done to get the accessory structures up to code, you will be clear on what those requirements are, and you will have some time to work on that. If you do start work on that and make some good faith effort and for some reason find that as the 30 days gets closer, you're not quite there, I encourage you to reach back out to codes and we can have a discussion about an extension if we think a good faith effort's being made. To Mr. Stone Rock, yes, sir. We're,
Card I can get today? That'd be good.
as he said before, we're not interested in tearing anything down if we don't have to. Well, that's not our intent here. We want to see some good faith effort and some repair made. It sounds like you're on it, and we appreciate that. And I think just make sure we're in good communication and we're transparent with sharing our information. All right? And thank you for coming out today.
I have a question here. Where did they, like this house, they go on the back side, they took a track hole and they tore the siding all to hell on the other side of the house. The city did when they went in there. They tore the gates down. What'd I do? Have somebody repair all that up and bring a bill to y'all for that?
You would have to file a claim with risk management.
With who?
Risk management. Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because I understand they got to go in there and do the job, but they got on the back side of it. If I operated equipment and I tore a house all to hell, I'd have to fix it.
I understand. Yeah, that's an adjacent property. That's not before a hearing officer today, but we can definitely get you information on a claim or follow up on that if you want to hang out after the meeting. Yep. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you writing that down for me.
Okay, I find that the structure at 3730 Kate Avenue is out of, including accessory structures, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injury to the health and safety of the occupants or public. I order the owner to repair the structure at 3730 Kate Avenue within 30 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. Furthermore, I order the owner to repair or demolish the accessory structures only at 3730 Kate Avenue within 30 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the accessory structures may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed, and the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building with the cost of such corrective action being a lien collected as provided in city code. Ms. LaFew, what is our next property?
It is the emergency boarding and securing of 308 South Gay Street.
Mr. Stone Rock?
Yes, sir. We secured this 308 South Gay Street on April the 9th, 2026. This is an affirmation of charges.
So we're talking about the fencing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
The barriers were installed prior to this. The fencing was installed along with it on the date I noted. That we're actually just charging up to that point.
This we're talking strictly about actions taken on April 9th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, and there's someone signed up to speak on this property?
yes, Mr. Oliver Adams.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please state your name and address for the record.
Certainly. My name's Oliver Adams. I represent First Century Bank, who's the lien holder on this property. We received the copy of the complaint. I don't think it was last week. It might have been late the week before last. So communicated that to the bank. They've reached out to the principals of the borrower entities and so far have not received a response. So the bank will end up taking whatever measures need to be done to get it secured. So I guess my request today with respect to, I guess from the bank's position is 60 days to get our arms around what needs to be done, get permits if necessary to get it secured before the city's required to take any additional action.
Okay. I appreciate that. I think I absolutely work with our codes team. If I'm understanding correctly, the scope of this item before me today is only the boarding action on the 9th. So we're not actually asking we're not doing a repair or demo order or anything of that nature.
So this is for the boarding on the 9th. Securing, I call it boarding, but this is a securing, actually. What I would like to say is that that is up to this point. Moving forward, what we'll be doing is actually mailing out another letter, probably later today. That letter would be another another request to secure the property, similar to what was originally sent. After that, the city, if nothing further is done to address this problem, the city actually will be invoicing this on a monthly basis for the rental and of the equipment and any other future services that we provide regarding the property. Understand that it will take time to make things happen. However, that's not a cost that the city will continue incurring.
Understand.
Yes, sir.
Certainly.
Yeah, I think I'd just encourage, stay in contact and try to help remedy this situation. But you're not disputing that the Public Service Department installed or secured this site with these materials on April 9th?
No, I have no basis to do that. And it looks like that was done.
Okay,
So we'll get our arms around it and get it fixed one way or the other.
okay. Thank you.
Certainly.
Yes, sir. I would like to let you know, just please continue communicating with my supervisor, Scott Elder.
Yes, sir.
We'll do our best to work with
Yeah,
you.
we've had some email exchanges, so
Okay. Thank you.
been very helpful and appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 308 South Gay Street due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangers and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next item, Ms. LaFew.
Confirmation of 4 boarding charges at 2721 East Magnolia Avenue.
Mr. Stone Rock.
Yes, this property was boarded on 4 different occasions. It was boarded once on January the 27th, 2025. It was boarded once again on May the 8th, 2025. Once again on August the 13th, 2025. And once again on February 5th, 2026.
Are each of these photos from the different dates?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
And we are just requesting approval of the boarding charges.
I see. Okay. And we have someone signed up to speak on this item.
Yes, Mr. James Houston.
If you could please approach and state your name and address for the record.
My name is James Houston, 2854 Gardenia Drive. I have a few properties in East Knoxville that I'm in the process of regaining control over. Me and family were in agreement to do something with them, but they never complied on their end. But this property in general, I'm not disputing the fact that you did board that up, but I can't keep them out of there. I mean, the boards were torn down. I know one time for sure we had all the building supplies needed for the house in there. We put them in there maybe a Thursday. We come back Monday, gone. Then the windows that they did leave, they broke, or I'm trying. It's kind of like an uphill battle, but this one is on my priority list because I've seen the improvements across the street. So I'm really trying to get it taken care of, but it's kind of hard. And I'm probably the nuisance that you're talking about that call, because every time I ride by there, I call. They'll leave, they'll come back, they'll leave off the front porch, go in the back porch. I call the police again. They'll leave off the back porch, break a window, go inside the house. It's but I mean, I'm trying. My electrician has a pole in the back. He said he was going to try to get something called an early on, so we could maybe put up some kind of lighting or something. But man, it's an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Well, I appreciate you making the effort to improve the property, and I hope that effort continues. If there's any,
I should have sole ownership within the next 2 weeks. and I'm gonna pull the permits myself. I'm not doing any structural right now, so I'm just gonna like secure the doors and windows and just try to get the facial like up to par and some kind of lighting going on. So
You,
I don't
so
think
you
I
working
need
on pulling a permit with our inspections department for that?
yeah,
Or a contractor?
I don't think I need a permit for that.
Okay.
I'm not changing any kind of loads or anything. I'm just trying to get the door secured again, put the windows back in, and after that, I think my electrician's going to handle his permit. So
Yeah, contractors usually do.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you doing that work. Did you have something to follow up with, Mr. Stoner?
Yes, sir. I would encourage you, if you're able to hang tight while we finish up the rest of the meeting. I'd like to get some of your contact information, kind of discuss this property with you. There is an open structure complaint as well that I can help guide your progress on rehabbing the property moving forward so that it's done in the correct way. And hopefully we can work together to get everything fixed. Thank you.
Great. All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 2721 East Magnolia Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Ms. LaFew, what is our next item?
Boarding confirmation of 4301 Asheville Highway.
All right. Mr. Stonerock?
Yes, this property was boarded on September the 3rd, 2025. We're requesting approval of the boarding charges.
Okay. We have someone signed up to speak for this item.
Yes, she's on Zoom.
Okay. Ma'am, if you-
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
My name is Evelyn Looney here on behalf of A and Associates.
All right. And what is your testimony regarding this boarding action?
So it's interesting. Our company actually purchased this property, and our goal is to convert this property to like a commercial use property, one of our branch offices, administrative office. And I'm not here. I can't dispute, the boarding that you all completed in September. Similar to Mr. Houston, we're just being faced with a lot of unauthorized people coming to the property. I think since then, even some of the boarding that the city installed was removed. Recently we temporarily boarded up some of the windows because they were broken, and we have ongoing repairs within the building so that like I said earlier, we can ultimately use this as a commercial office space, a branch office for our staffing agency. But we've completed some debris removal. We're fixing the broken windows, making sure that we're maintaining the landscaping, and I'm hopeful to have a full-time presence here within the next 60 days.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I think that would be excellent. Mr. Stonock, did you have any follow-up from that?
Only that if you could please make sure you pass along your contact information to our office. We'd be glad to coordinate with you in the future. It'd be a whole lot easier on both parts, the city and your companies, to work together so that we can try to keep this property nice and clean and help it become something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Without a doubt. And who should I provide that information to?
If you hang tight on the Zoom meeting until after the meeting, we can give you our email address for our office.
Sounds good. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. I'm going to approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 4301 Asheville Highway due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Ms. LaFew, next item.
Forty-one 16 Apex Drive.
Anyone signed up to speak for the, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Stonerock, could you please present your evidence?
So this one, we'd like to actually postpone to the July public officer hearing meeting. It's pending a Knox County tax sale in June, and in the meantime, the codes will just continue to monitor this one.
Okay.
This is Apex? No. So this is new. Let me verify. Please stand by, let me verify.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just postponing this one. Yeah, no further, sir.
Okay, so your city's request is to postpone this item to the June meeting?
To the July meeting.
the July
The
meeting.
tax sale will be in June.
Okay, I apologize. All right, well, we will postpone this until the July meeting. So ordered. All right. Does that take us to, or there's no one signed up to speak on this item?
Correct.
Okay. Does that take us to 5807 Elkwood?
Yes.
that right?
5807 Elkwood Drive.
Excellent. Mr. Stonerock?
Yes, this property was inspected on February the 15th, 2017. The house was found to be in poor and deteriorating condition. Several windows have been broken out. All utilities have been removed from the property. The property has become the subject of repeated nuisance calls from the neighborhood. The grass and vegetation on the property are frequently overgrown. The city has recently cleaned and/or mowed the property multiple times. There are 4 open liens and 4 overdue invoices for city services since 2023. There are signs of vagrancy at the property, and there's visible damage to the soffits, eaves, and gutters. We're requesting a 90-day repair order on this property.
No one signed up to speak on this item?
No.
All right, I find the structure at 5807 Elkwood Drive, including the accessory structures, are out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. I order the owner to repair the structure at 5807 Elkwood Drive, including the accessory structure, within 90 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. Next item,
2601 Johnston Street.
Mr. Stonerock.
Yes, sir. This property was inspected on November the 18th, 2025. The structure was found to be in extremely poor and deteriorating condition. The rear section of the roof structure is missing key structural components, and it's showing signs of failure. The top rear corner of the building is beginning to shift and show signs of imminent collapse. Large areas of siding are missing. The wood framing is exposed to the elements, and it's showing significant deterioration and breakage. Many of the windows have been broken out, and there's visible damage to the soffits, eaves, and the siding. On this, we're requesting a 60-day repair demolition order, and I would like to note that the property owner, Mr. Bennett, actually called our office yesterday, or at least notified our office, and he has applied for a demolition permit, and that's been confirmed. If the order is approved, we would just, of course, continue to monitor the progress of the permit and progress that occurs at the property, however this is a danger.
Yeah, clearly. No one signed up to speak?
No.
All right. I find that the structure at 2601 Johnston Street is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to health and safety of the occupants or public. I order the owner to repair or demolish the structure at 2601 Johnston Street within 60 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed, and the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building, with the cost of such corrective action being a lien and collected as provided in city code. Next item.
3332 Midway Street.
Mr. Stonerock.
This property was inspected on October the 29th, 2025. The house was found to be vacant with damage to the front roof from a fallen tree. There's a covered porch roof above the entry door is missing, and it's open to the elements. There's a handrail for the porch that has been damaged. All utilities have been removed from the property, and there's visible damage to the soffits, eaves, and siding. We're requesting a 60-day repair order on this.
Okay, no one signed up to speak?
No.
All right. I find that the structure at 3332 Midway Street is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. And I order the owner to repair the structure at 3332 Midway Street within 60 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. Next item.
3115 Shields Avenue.
Mr. Stonerock?
This house was inspected on March 31st, 2026. The house was found to be vacant and unsecured. The rear section of the house is completely collapsed and is unsafe for entry. All utilities have been removed from the property. The property has recently become the subject of several nuisance calls from the neighborhood. The property is frequently dirty and cluttered with rubbish and garbage. The city has recently cleaned and/or mowed the property multiple times. There are signs of vagrancy at the property, and there's visible damage to the soffits, eaves, and siding. For this, we're requesting an immediate repair demolition order of the main structure and accessory structures.
You said 30-day repair demolition order?
We're requesting an immediate repair demolition order on
Immediate.
this. Yes, sir.
Okay.
The rear portion of the house, as you can see in the photos, is collapsed.
No contact with the owner?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Have we exhausted all, I mean, immediate's pretty quick. We've exhausted all our options there. Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so we have not had anyone contact us from our letters that we typically mail out, our structure letter and our complaint.
Okay. All right. All right, I find that the structure at 3115 Shields Avenue, including the accessory structure, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or general public. I order the owner to repair the demolish the structure at 3115 Shields Avenue immediately. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. And the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building, with the cost of such corrective action being a lien and collected as provided in city code. Next item.
Boarding approval of 1303 North Broadway.
Okay, Mr. Stonerock.
This property was boarded on September the 19th, 2025. We're requesting approval of the boarding charges.
Just the one?
Yes.
All right. I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 1303 North Broadway. Due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next item.
Boarding for 1311 Charles Drive.
Mr. Stonerock.
This property was boarded on September the 29th, 2025. We're requesting approval of the boarding charges.
Just the one again?
Yes.
All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 1311 Charles Drive. Due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Last item, I think, right?
Yes. 2795 Sutherland Avenue.
All right.
This property was boarded on September the 19th, 2025. We're requesting approval of the boarding charges.
What's that? What is that? Oh, I
A
see.
fan or an
Okay.
AC unit or something?
Yeah, okay. Let's see, all right. All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 2795 Sutherland Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. All right, seeing no further business today, we are adjourned. Thank you.